Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back here. And I want to say thank you guys first for watching, commenting. We had a great comment on the video that how do you move on? How do you move on within a relationship as a twin flame? How did this go on within you? And since this was a very great suggestion, Paulina is going to say who I forgot the name. Apologizing about that. But we had the suggestions is to talk about this. And we are going to be diving a little bit these preparations, but also the preparations begins with what? Without processing your journey, and then you're preparing yourself. Some of the people they're going into a relationships in there without the processing of the whatever happened in there, and that is lacking the preparations, and then the situations in the new relationship can be really not in a way because you have to face the same things over and over of the things that has not been processed within the new relationship. So we're gonna give you some little bit of bolts and nuggets up here. Hopefully, a good advices for you. Take it what is resonate. If you have any questions, you is always free to ask. So, darling, the mic is yours.
I tried to open the message that I sent you to see who asked the question. I don't have it right now, so
I
it's
I'll get it.
we're gonna add the credits towards the end
Yeah,
of the
we have
video.
to give the
But
credit.
it was very timely because we were wondering what to talk about, and we don't want to put any of our ideas anymore. We are really interested in what you guys are struggling with or thinking about when you are moving on to those next stages. And the question was regarding the start, like how do you start properly the relationship? Either how do you move on to some brand new connection, or how do you restart your relationship? That's my understanding of the question. And based on our experience, it's really there are certain steps that you need to prepare for this maybe new ways of creating relationships here, because the twin flame experience is just some sort of a preparation for you to see what is it from your old belief system and maybe old templates that you got throughout the generation from your family, parents, all of that. What do you have to tweak? What do you have to get rid of? And apply that in your new relationships that you're going to be entering with more consciousness. And how do we just navigate that? How do we recreate the right template? So I would say the first thing that it starts with when people are talking about how do I move on, what do I do? I'm in this stage in my life that nothing seems to be working and just I'm getting stuck. Maybe there is no communication in both parties for whatever reason. And in some people, it just sparks this thought like, maybe I should move on. Maybe my life is pretty precious here. My time is precious. Maybe I should start doing something a little bit different. Maybe I should experiment. Maybe I can start opening up for other relationships. There are people who throughout their journey, they will say, no way. Like I've been hurt, I've been in pain. I have enough of those kinds of experiences. This is one scenario, which I believe it's correct. It's okay if some people feel like it. There is no way to force yourself into any of the scenarios. But if you've been hurt, if you've been in pain because of any of those relationships, take time to process that. Don't think you're doing something wrong, that you are missing out some opportunities here. Your soul knows best when is the right moment for any changes, entering any new relationships and all of that. There are people also who don't believe that this is a um, proper thing to do to enter new relationships, either because they feel like they cannot feel this depth of love towards any other person. they are feeling like they are cheating the connection itself. They feel like they are not able to move on with any other person than their original twin flame. Whether it's good or not, I would say you know best what works for you. But the only way to answer that is, where do you feel you stand in terms of your own progress, knowing that your life still moves on, and we cannot really force people to go somewhere that they are not interested in going. So there are two choices here, right? Either you can be this person who decides to wait for intervention, wait for another twin to awake, that's commonly used, wait for other people to end up their current relationships. But this is all focused on waiting. And a little bit like maybe leaving the control to some external sources. And then third type is people are really deciding to move on. They are deciding to experiment. They decide to give themselves this freedom and understand that, oh, I'm able to move on, just try to regain my sense of maybe control over my life. And with this bigger perspective, you know that this nothing is really missing you. You're able to move on something that maybe it will be beginning to flow once you give yourself this opportunity. So it's like it starts with this permission that you need to give to yourself, that you are ready, you are not hurting anyone. This is not from the space that you want to take advantage or maybe like make up for something that it's not in your life. Some people enter relationships just for the sake of maybe cover some of their emotional needs, not from the space of really wanting to build something healthy. So those are those three scenarios. Like probably all of us like can fit somewhere in here. And again, there is not a certain stage that it's ultimate or proper. You just basically feel where you stand and what can you do to improve, whether or not with another person or not. This is like never ending process anyways. So that's
Mm.
how I see it.
A lot of things coming up, guys, right? Um, for some, this kind of like a topic, can I go with somebody else or can I start a new relationship as far as I already have it when flame? It's a very kind of like most of the people that are hanging out to the twin flame. But the credit for this video is going towards Vanya Faria, the user at YouTube. We would like to say thank you. The credit goes to you. So you guys keep give us the suggestions here. We love them. We also recognize you here. You deserve that recognitions because uh, the people, you and the users, and there benefited in there. All right. So to go back in this, over the years, a lot of the twin flames, when you have this twin flames awakening experience, and when you're hanging up to the only one, to some of the people there for a very long time. Okay, I mean very long time. I think that the longest somebody's been put their life in a hold that I know was about pretty much, I would say like 40 some plus years. So 40 plus years you did not experience life, you put your lives in a hold in there, and until we had to have a talk and so on. It was very interesting story in there. The lady was in her late age, but she brought that book and a picture. It was very old, a very old picture of this man. And there is like ever since that I cannot move on. What should I do? It was very interesting about these positions, but even then, I figured it out that after these moments, there was a lot of people who put their lives on hold. Um, and this is why I'm going to be missing out this opportunity and there. So one of the things is, if you are not in that hold, you're going to be processing that you don't have to put your life on hold. You're going to be passing that threshold. You're going to be passing that limitations in there, and that is a that limitations before even you preparing yourself for the next relationship. You open up yourself again, and so on and so on. It is about that you're here to have experiences as soul. You want to evolve more. You want to do something else more. But now you're gonna be open up from the twin flames experience, and you're like, I may not gonna have my twin flame. Twin flame. It's we talk about that in there. But I can't deserve to have a great life. Okay, even over the years, I think like kind of 5, 6 years ago, there was this kind of like a wave of some of the people. They were like, you know what, I'm done with the twin flame. I'm going to choose a soulmate. That was this kind of like a crazy wave within the community in there. But now we are seeing it, and since me and Paulina we've been seeing it here. What you need was there is that passing that threshold first. And after the passing the threshold, you may have to pass it 2 times. You may have to be on a few times in the soul connections. You may have to have that experience in there. But it's also what is going to be preparing you is you. Okay. The preparation is like, I don't have to live on these situations. I'm here to evolve. I'm here to move on. I'm here to experience it. I'm gonna be loving this person as I love my twin. It's not gonna be hands down in there. So that mental preparation, you're gonna beginning after you passing the threshold. That is gonna come to you, even though you're gonna be like, well, you maybe also give up. Okay, feels like you give up. And that energy of threshold, you're gonna feel like you're gonna give it up. Kind of like, I'm done with this. I don't want to be with men. I don't want to be with women. So I don't want to be with person. Right now, I'm not looking on there until the universe says that you're gonna be done when we say you're done, and you're gonna be laughing at that because that's gonna be this positions in there that uh, it's not about the love is gonna come to you when you at least expect it. Okay. So that is the beauty of this. So you actually right there and that moment you give up with that, and you're passing that threshold, and at the same time you're gonna be feel free. Okay. So some people they block themselves, some people though they leave the door open. It's like, okay, universe, surprise me, whatever you have for me, whatever is the situations in there. And this is when that process of preparations in there is gonna be leading you to. It's gonna be okay. You're not gonna die when you open up yourself. It's gonna be okay when you're open to it. It's gonna be okay, right? As long as you're not limiting yourself in there, not limiting the knowledge, the experience, and the precious moment of your soul and body, the body in there. Your embodiment of the soul here is important. And that's gonna lead you on the way when you start and advancing with this. So that preparation in there, it's beautiful, it's great because you feel like I don't need nobody, but if the universe has something for me, if this is the situations, I will go with it. Now you're gonna be resonate within the journey, okay? And let it be. If it's meant to be, whatever it has to be, or the situation will be, that will happen. We have quite a few examples of people who moved out from the twin flame, understanding that their twin flame is not going to be for whatever reasons. There could be so many reasons karmic, codependencies, or whatever, okay, family situations, right? But what are you going to do? So this passing threshold is gonna be kind of like a helping you out to see yourself, to see within yourself. So
It really comes down to the level of control that we have. Because the way I see it, those moments when you really try to either protect yourself so much or so withdraw completely from any type of connection. Some people even decide to run away from twin flame connection because it's too much. It's too much drama. And we are kind of trying to run away from this pain, from this dramatic and emotional experiences. So we try to be in control, to say, no, I'm just blocking it. It's like, I won't allow it. But at the same time, we can block and take control because we don't want to open up. We don't want to work with something that wants to be presented. So it takes a little bit of this shift that you need to change the way you think about control. Are you allowing maybe some higher guidance to take over the control of your over your journey without you running away, but also without you blocking what is meant to be presented for you? It's like it's teaching you a little bit this humbleness that there are certain lessons that you're still meant to experience here. Whether or not it's gonna be with the person that you imagine and put on a pedestal, that's gonna be another thing I'm gonna be talking about, or not, you're still ready. You're not rejecting this higher power that was helping you to get through all those experiences altogether. It's gonna be redeveloping of this connection, right, with inner guidance, and at the same time, as I said, some sort of recognizing some sort of higher order that wants to lead you a certain way. And if you start sensing those higher energies, how they want to manifest here, you'll be like, okay, like let me see what is there, what wants to be maybe presented. Maybe I'm just withholding something. So one thing that happens in this community that I see, it's we love to put not only labels. I'm not even talking about the labels, but we love to put weights or um, assess what are we dealing with. We like to put the priorities on people, and we also like to differentiate between soulmate connections and twin flame connections. And we love to put twin flame connection as the ultimate holy grail that it's here to experience, and any type of other soul connection that may be experienced here, it's worse. It felt like, oh, it's a leftover of something that I cannot have. I've had enough pain. I cannot have what I want. So let me at least go with the soulmate. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be, I don't have to work. Let just universe deliver it to me. So the problem is here that we are not really doing it from the place of appreciating what can be presented to us. It rather comes from this like lack of whatever we would love to have, but it's not accessible. We still want to control what's gonna come to us. Like we still want something. So in this case, that people are deciding to let go of the idea of twin flame, they will say, okay, at least I'm gonna have a soulmate that I don't have to do any work. It's just gonna be beautiful, no drama, not anything. So that's one thing that happens. But at the same time, many people still feel, because you can sense it reading through the posts or reading through the comments, everything, that they are not fully okay with the idea of having a soulmate. Having a soulmate, it's considered in many cases as really some sort of leftover because you can't have what you want. And I would say to everyone who find themselves with this way of thinking, that's what you're gonna be manifesting in a reality, because this is your mindset. If you believe that anyone who comes after the ignition, because your original ignition is not available, anything that comes after is less than, you can be sure that that's what's gonna be coming to you. That's how you're gonna be experiencing those connections, that you're not gonna be fully happy. You're not gonna be fully satisfied because you're not allowing yourself to reach this level of satisfaction with any next potential connection that will be coming. So again, reminders to everyone, it really always starts with your mindset and what you have inside your head, because that's how you're gonna be approaching all the connections. So again, reminder, don't put any single connection that has been presented to you on a pedestal. Don't cling on to anything. And if something is not working and there's something else coming, don't judge it. Like, don't put any, don't place it in terms of like how close vibration it was, how strong it was, stronger, not stronger. This really, knowing that you're evolving all the time, and not, there is no two connection that will feel the same ever. Like there is no way to confirm them. It's like they always come in the right time according to your current development. So that's the topic that I think has to be maybe discussed a little bit more. This rethinking the process of having a soulmate. How do you see it, and how would you treat it? This sort of connections.
Uh, Too many things. Oh my God. It's. I think that we can talk for another 2 hours on this topic. I think that the community needs it. There's a lot of things that opened in there. Number one in there, when you were talking, darling, uh, don't run on 5D. Okay, that was the one thing. Oh, I had this bad experience in there. I don't want to listen this guidance in there. This is like the little child. Can I have the toy? So I'm gonna be mad at mom and dad. But this kind of like on a spiritual level, and you are running away from the guidance that tells you you are here to experiencing this journey. You got ignited as a twin flame. Don't waste your time. Don't waste the things in there. Don't get angry. Process everything that needs to be processed in there. And yeah, as a Paulina said in there, be mindful how you're manifesting, how you're manifesting your things. Okay? Because if your mindset is set like, oh, I'm gonna be getting someone who is lower and so on and so on, this is why you don't have to put any requirements, either putting a people in a, as a Paulina said, in a pedestal. When they put people in the pedestal and there, you're gonna have challenges. You're going to have incredible challenges within your own self, because there within your own self there is a lot of processes going on, internal, external, and mostly what are you standing at within the journey. So with this kind of like a mess as within yourself, the best thing it is to leave the things to the universe. And when you let it to the universe in there, they give you the guidance of how to find the peace within you, that you're going to be okay without the other person. You can be all right. You don't have to put any label, because the universe knows what it's perfect for you for the right moment. Okay? She's going to tell you this. You're going to be okay. All right? Once you're getting into those things within yourself, then you're going to find out that with talking about your experience, you're going to find that you're going to be experiencing and practicing everything that you learned from the past connection. Everything. It's going to be like, do you know this? Okay. Do you act like this? Okay. It's kind of like a checklist. All right. And when you do that in there, we are talking about starting up a new relationship. To start within the new relationship, it's going to be starting from the same place. It's going to be from ignition. Okay. You're going to be repeating pretty much the same situations. It's going to lead up somehow. Maybe not 100%, okay, but 80% of it for sure. At least in my case, that I was talking about here. And then you're going to be ending up in that journey that stop with a person who does not want to be on the twin flames journey. You're going to be continue going with that person. One step, the next step, and the next step. You're gonna beginning to really understanding the journey, the power, why you awaken, why everything. And universe is gonna be, did you see it? We help you to cross that threshold. And now since you move on, now it's starting up in the new relationship. But that process of move on is crucial, because if you don't move on, the things is not gonna be moving on. And now you're gonna be stuck in there, and you're gonna be looking for some people, or people's gonna be connected to you. The universe is gonna send you some people, and you're like, no, 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 no. And the universe is like, what should I do? You are awakened. We put time, effort, and energy to invest in you to be awakened. You don't want to do it because you hold on to this thing. And now, when are you gonna be process this? So that kind of like a loop in there, the only way it is really to let it go. You let the things go, you let the universe handle it in there, and you are open to the universe, okay? Because you're creations of the universe in there. And once that is open, you let the things flow. Because when the energy of the universe want to connect you with somebody, oh, they will do it. They will set up the stage. You will feel like, oh, this is my person. You're gonna feel like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Everything is gonna be. I would say, let me specify this. In the divine energies within you, with as a normal 3D, they basically is gonna tell you how to bring the heavens on earth, and you're gonna be like, how can I do? How can it this possible to exist? Because you are only focused within the twin flame, and all of a sudden, when this energy comes in within you, in there, and you're like, what is this energy? But I don't get to this person. But the energy is there. Then it's one time, two times, three times, four times, five times, and then in the sixth time is like, okay, enough is enough. We need to do it, and that's what happened within us. There was an energy that was like, I'm like, okay, I'm acceptable, right? But that was this energy. Is like, I know it. My energy was acting like a husband and wife. But I'm talking about husband and wife within the friendship zone. We're husband and wife, but in the friendship zone as well. We're not just a husband and wife. It was not just like this. I'm like, what is this strange energy? I was afraid to approach Paulina. To tell you the truth, she knows it. That is actually also witnesses and the whole thing in there. But the energy was there. I tried to fight it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I'm like, okay, enough. It's time to talk. And things are going to be happen naturally, okay? So when energy comes to you, you're going to be ready to see that shift from preparing yourself, move on, and then to the start. Okay, that moment of shift, it's going to happen naturally. You don't have to push the person. You don't have to tell anything to the person. This is going to be a natural process. Okay, and you're gonna find the differences and the rewards that it comes in with this after your journey comes up. Okay, you're gonna find it. But most of the people, as I said and I stated before, I want ice cream, but I'm holding my cup of coffee. How can I get my ice cream? It's not gonna happen. You have to let the cup up to get the ice cream because of this. You're holding the money to pay. It's not gonna happen. And this is why some of the people even not understanding this, they're kind of like a missed out. But we have quite a few cases where the people let it go. The people end up with somebody else, and they are like, "Okay, we evolved." Or some are like, "I understand. I went through the same situations. I had not processed the past relationship." So you see it by you communicate within the community, you communicate with other people, and this is going to help you out. Examples showing, but you need to look also deep within you. I put your cap on. You can't put a water in a bottle they have a cap on. Okay, guys. So back to you, baby. Oh,
Mhm.
that was a beautiful times back there in Florida.
Yeah. It was not forced. I mean, it was forced from above a little bit, and there were some struggles. Like we were having the struggles that I believe many people have, and many questions, and there was not really answers. Like we just had to test the right steps on our own. Especially, I'm talking here about really clashing with this old belief system, because like we were still, and still I believe it's we are clashing with many people, because it's like old belief system are just dissolving, but we are bringing a new. Some people are not agreeing with that, and it's okay. It's just based on our experience, when what happens when you try to go against those belief system, and you're curious enough to see, okay, even if I have some doubts whether I'm doing the right thing, and if I'm that's what comes to me mostly, is like this sense of cheating something, like it's cheating. But I right now I understand what it was. It's really almost like a cheating this old ways of thinking, or you think that you're not supposed to do certain things, but at the same time you feel like these kinds of feelings are keeping you in this old loop that you're supposed to break out through. So if anyone is in this situation that you feel like you're being drawn to some new ways of thinking or new ways of approaching those things, especially within soul connections, and there is not many people talking about your experiences and your ways of doing things, I would really encourage to explore and see by yourself. Don't, we were talking about leaving the control. Don't give the control to other people. Don't necessarily listen when some people will say you cannot do certain things or you should not be doing certain things. Instead, ask yourself, do you want to do it? Should you do it? What should be the outcome? And because I can see also many people that are trying to give their own advices into saying, you cannot let go of your twin flame. You cannot go against and you cannot run away from it. There is no way you're connected. And they will be putting these kinds of ideas in the community. And if that was their experience, that's beautiful. But remember, we are all having different journey and different paths. We are on different levels of evolutions. Even if the twin flames, we are different waves of twin flames. And for some people, those old beliefs are not working. Like you've done it in the past lives. You've done this way of thinking. You are ahead. So you are meant to bring these new ways in which we are removing limitations, we are removing dependencies, and we are just questioning things. So I would really encourage you in those kinds of situations, if you're clashing with your old or new belief systems and you want to experiment, really listen to your own guidance, and the universe will really be presenting things in 3D if you're meant to experience them, because your mind allowed this reality to present itself. Because remember, it always starts at this mental level and those higher dimensions. So if you're mentally ready to experience something in 3D, it's gonna be presented to you and it's gonna be asking you for actions. And now I just wanted to say that it doesn't mean that any single relationship that's gonna be coming potentially to your field, that you have to go right away because, oh, that's another person, let's just start. They are coming sometimes to you to show you the differences. They are showing you how much you evolved, and not all of them will be crystallizing right away into relationship. It doesn't work like that. Many times I believe we have this preparation period in between those major connections that we are really meant to work through. You will be showing those examples of people who will be maybe also similar in some sense, or they will be helping you to get rid of some mental blocks in order to prepare the right relationship. But within this process, as you meet those example connections, I would say, observe yourself. And if something tells you that's not the right level of connection that you want to have with the soul connection, don't push yourself into this. Be patient. I'm not saying keep yourself blocked, but just trust that the right person and the right frequency, they are existing, they are trying to approach you. So some of those people can be almost feeling like a test. Are you gonna to stop at the first thing that was presented to you, or you recognize this is not good enough for me? I feel like this is not a full recognition that we have here. Yes, maybe there will be some spiritual experiences, but it's not good enough, and your soul will be guiding you. It's, you don't have to stop right now with this person. Let's explore more. those will be very often moments when you're maybe doing those things for the very first time, that you say someone, no, I'm not interested, have this confrontations, because that's what you also have to learn. So it's a very beautiful process how you're gonna be like presented with different gifts, and you have a freedom still to say no or yes, or where you want to go with your journey. But from my experience, I really encourage everyone not to stop. If your soul is not fully happy with someone and you feel there is something off, and I believe everyone knows what I mean by that, just listen to that and just move forward, because that means that there is something else that's gonna be presented to you. So just go with that. So a little bit of this discernment into not all the soul connections that are appearing in our life are meant to be pursued. They are here to explore. There might be some beautiful ones that you're seeing nothing but the green flags, and the universe says, yeah, but you cannot have it. Like you, that it's good, but it's not for you right now. It's just that's showing you the potential, but you have something else coming your way. So I've had those too. But you see, it's nothing, it's everything is about just, okay, whatever presents to you, you're grateful, you work with that as long as it's possible, and then you move on if something else is coming your way. Hopefully that gives people a bit of these distinctions about those different types.
Kind of like it took the words out of my mind when I was talking about these levels of preparation. What you want, you have to become. Okay, you probably don't hear it that for the first time. So what you are, that's what you attract. What you need, that's what is. But what is the little bit as Paulina said, a little bit of difference with this level of advancement in there is that you know that you're here to break paradigms. You're here to break limitations. You're here to face all beliefs. You're here to go above and beyond. That is a power, if you have to say, that is a kind of like a power of all the soul connections that exist. Is that we are breaking limits all the time. But your level of your own limits, you need to know what is your stop signs are. It's like a red sign that says stop, and you're like, what? I have to stop in there. That's your limits. Can you be able to put this energy in there that you have out? Are you ready to go above and beyond? And there is this test that goes on. All of a sudden, you go into this same place, and all of a sudden, there is no stop sign. And you're like, well, there was a stop sign here. What happened? You mentally process what could happen if you cross over. What can you continue going into the journey? What is your abilities? And then you're gonna find out that the way you were not awakened as a twin flame, you did the same thing, but now it's a different experience. You see, you're gonna be operating from experience. You're not gonna be awakened from, oh, my karmic life is bad and this and so on for reasons. Now, you're gonna distinguish the difference between reasoning and a journey. Okay, so you you're gonna have some challenges, but you need to understand. Staying in stuck, staying in the comfort zone, staying in the situations where you not belong. Most of the people who get ignited within in the soul, they have families. And here is that when you have a families in there and creating a families and so on, and now you are ignited within this, all of a sudden you come this soul awakening, and now you are sleeping with someone next to you, but your soul is not there. You're like you are in the house, but your energy Your presence is not in that house. And particularly if you have a kids, your presence as a kid, as a mother, as a father, there is not there. You're somewhere else. And now everyone feeling it. Everyone knows it. And this is why when it comes into the soul connections, guys, in here, that it's the same preparations that you do of facing that challenge to do the right thing. Because when you're staying there and that you're holding to that person because you're loving and so on and so on, and you're not going a good examples even towards your kids in there. So by you crossing over, that crossing over, you're gonna be experiencing it quite a few times, okay? Because the soul is gonna be challenging you. Like you're going from the, oh, here, you're at the fourth grade, okay? Oh, let me put you in the fifth grade. Oh, you're passing the fifth grade, let me do the test. Oh, you got another one. You're gonna find very similarities within all this, as long as you're not going to the same fourth grade over and over and over and over, and then it's gonna be a moment of you that you're gonna kind of like give up because of that ability, okay, that little bit of thing in there that you have to cross over, jump over, see the possibilities instead of acting on the limitations. When those things are coming within you, the only war you're gonna have that it is about that. And once you crack that, you break that, you break those limitations, then it's gonna be like, okay, I'm expanding. You're gonna be expanding. When you expand out of your limitations, you're gonna be seeing things that it's like, oh my God, this is like a whole new world. And this is what we're trying to help you here because of the question. You're starting up a new relationship, but every new relationship is a new world. Now, how are you going to build that new relationship? Hopefully, you're not going to be repeating the things from the past. Hopefully, you're not going to get it. You may facing certain things from the past, but you are going to be right now awakened and aware of it. That's all I have.
Yeah, I have still a few more things I wanted to talk about. Maybe just to remind everyone, I kind of touched base on that. But as you do that, to enter this new way of thinking about all this, like your journey, and just knowing that sometimes we just have to let go of certain periods of our life and certain stages, certain people, just to see what is further. You need to first give yourself permission to do that because it's, especially I'm talking, if you will be facing this clashing belief system, it's gonna be feeling like a jail. You know, it's gonna be feeling like a block that you cannot, like a wall. But your will be stronger. Like you can get out of this system. It's gonna be really asking you. There might be this process of thinking, rethinking, and what should I do? But if your will is strong enough, you're gonna break through and will be ready to see what is on the other side. But as you do that and you decide to experiment and open up for other potential relationships and soul connections, you may be having some like a trust issues because you don't want to the story to repeat itself. You don't want this pains and hurts again in your life. This is a little risk that we are taking always. And the only way to really prepare for that is to know that we still try to be the best as we know within the relationships. There will be certain lessons, and the only way to really prepare yourself to teach yourself to be about around among the right people, it's to practice that. There's no other way for you to get this sense of how do I choose the right people to be in my life if I don't practice that. Because if you want to keep yourself safe, you're really taking out of this experience of let me see what other people are out there. Right now I have a new experience, I have a new perspective, I have way higher sense, like this inner sense towards people, towards authenticity. Those are all gifts that you're meant to grow here. So there is no way to perfect them further if you don't experiment. So it's a little bit this emotional pains, they have to be a little bit dimmed for you to be more courageous and just curious about experimenting more. So those trust issues is one of the things, because you may have troubles at the beginning, like do I trust this person? And what I see is like the trust can be built, can be rebuilt, and can be made stronger. But it's almost like a constant exercises that you're going to be repeating by constant communication, safe communication. And this really touches on this psychological part of the relationships, that what do we require to build this safe and healthy relationships here. So the only way, again, the only way to heal this is to give yourself opportunity to heal this, rather than thinking, oh, it's gonna pass in a time and one day I'm gonna have trust back. It doesn't work like that. You have to really be aware and conscious and have this willingness to do that. And another thing that you will be clashing with, it's gonna be this human way of understanding about relationships. Because very often what we expect from any soul connection, this is a big stigma. It's we are expecting intensity, and we are expecting butterflies, and we are expecting runner chaser and all this drama. That's how we define soul connections very often. Or again, we are entering these boxes, twin flame versus soulmate. That has to be also changed, because you will be noticing that it has nothing to do with your human preferences as you believe. It has nothing to do with what you think you need on a human level. So most probably your soul connection that's going to be coming to you may not be able to provide for yourself financially, may not be able to build a family with you right away, may not even be available right now at the same location as you are, because this is not the purpose of those connections. So as soon as you understand that you have to be really open into different ways of those manifestations, you can miss out on some of those opportunities, because you will be presented with someone who will say, oh, that's not what I need. I don't want that. What is it? Like, this is, I don't even find this person attractive. At the same time, you forget, or maybe you overlook the level of connection that's being built with you. Like, it's maybe there is a way more peace that is present. Maybe the universe itself is included, and you both cannot reject it. Like, it cannot be overlooked. So you see how human ways of understandings will not be able to grasp this new ways of building relationships. Is not, it has nothing to do with giving you what you think you need as a human. It's more about what your soul needs here to experience. So just a heads up that those relationships are not always being manifested the way you imagine for yourself. So it's not like you make a list of wishes and it comes down, and you, some person falls down, and that's what it is, this ideal version that you wished for yourself. It's more really a person who will help you grow and will help you to break out those limitations that you still may have. And yeah, I think that's what I wanted to finish with. Like, don't chase, or maybe don't expect to build those connections only based on attractions, because the attraction is a measure of healing that happens between you two. So it's obvious, the more you're healed, the more peaceful you are, the higher vibration you have. Why would you expect drama? Why would you expect those non-clarities and just miscommunication and this second guessing? Like, this is really old and this is unhealthy. So why would you even consider that as a part of something that it wants to be built properly? So very, like, this is a few points that you can think about yourself to see where you stand right now, where you want to go, and if that makes sense for you, and maybe helps you to make those choices for yourself, to see where you see yourself as going further on a journey. But yeah, that's what
Wow.
I have for today.
You are
You can
hitting the
still
spot.
comment on that.
I mean, how are you gonna get the come back from that? I mean, come on. We talk about this soul connections with you, babe. Um, Talking about this attractions levels. Okay, but the attractions, okay, it's tied up to manifestation. I want to attract this in my life. I want to get. But when you look at it, that moment of attractions, it comes from needs. I need that, so I want to attract it. I want this, so I want to attract it. Particularly in the new way of the spirituality, a lot of the people, it's like, teach me how to manifest my twin flame. Okay? You need to be the twin flame first. Be what you are, that's what is going to come to you. And we are talking about, he did a great job. Great point in there. Another of the great point in there is like these intense energies, these butterflies, this intense intimacy urges, these lower self energies, this oh my God, like my heart is gonna be open up, and so on and so on. Soul connection brings peace, and this is one other thing that it's not that very explainable within the community, and not those intense feelings, not those intense energies, not this intense ooh, like brings peace. So your soul finds its peace. So when the soul finds its peace, your body, your mind, your energy, your vibrations is at peace. Now you can begin to create with peace. Okay, it's different. When you're creating from the urges, from the pushes, from the intense energies. Because you are rushing, you're hushing, and you're pushing the person to be with you. While the inner peace says, like, maybe not at this moment. Maybe something needs to be worked out. Maybe this and that and so on. But it's a process, guys. It is a process. Okay? Be patient within the process. Be in love within the process of making yourself. Be within that peace, stay within that peace, and that new relationships that you're going to be building, you're going to be building it from not just new experience. You're going to be building it because it's meant to be, because you're going to be allowing the universe in there. And this is what Paulina said in there. When the universe is involved, you're going to be thinking about it because you're understanding the purpose of the divine connections of the soul. And that's what these beautiful connections are. They're connecting to the divine. They're not just that attraction. They're not just these needs. They're not just, oh, I want to manifest it. They're not none of that. They're soul in love with peace, with the divine that is present. That's it. Okay? All right, guys. So that's all I have for you. Darling, if you have anything about it.
No, I think I said it all. Unless there are some other questions, something was unclear or something resonated, feel free to type in a chat or type in a comment. Then I'd be happy to discuss more. Other than that, I just good luck. Hope it makes sense to know how to open up more, just to get yourself out of this box, out of cage. I think that this cage of the self-imposed cage that we like to put ourselves into, just because of the fear maybe of the cycles repeating itself. This is the main one, because very often people are not aware of that it's no one holding us back but us, and this fear of the story is repeating itself. And the only way to break cycles is just to do them once more. Just break out of them. So just to give yourself this chance.
And if there is a lessons to learn, okay, the lesson is gonna be chase you until you learn it. Okay, so if you're trying to escape something, you're trying to overcome something, and so on, it's gonna follow you. Doesn't matter. So if you're preparing yourself with the lessons that come within you, you fix them, you put yourself in order, you prepare yourself, you open up yourself, you're gonna be having a great experience after that because you know Now you're dealing with experience and so. Okay, guys, I wish you good luck. We're looking forward for your comments, questions, and if you have any topic suggestions, we would love to recognize you here with your question. Okay, guys, thank you so much and be loved.
Take care, guys. See you next time.